Name Satch. Well, it's pretty funny actually. Where I grew up, there weren't a lot of long Italian names, and so people were trying to figure out some other way to say Satriani, you know. And there was a character on TV on the Bowery Boys, and his name was Satch, and so it became like a nickname that stuck. So most people think it has to do with Louis Armstrong, but it doesn't.
Yes, Satch. I think it was that. No, it's a TV.
Satch. It's a TV show. Yeah.
Self-made musician, or you learn at school to play guitar?
I don't think any player can be self-made, really. Eventually, you borrow from everybody. Anybody who plays anything that's really good, you eventually take it and you make it part of your own style. But I did have a really good music theory teacher in high school, and I took 2 lessons from a legendary jazz figure named Lenny Tristano. And I learned from anyone that I thought was really good. Hendrix records, you know.
Take
other friends. Yeah, you take little things that you like and you work on them and you try to make them your own.
Audience, what is the difference between a good guitar player and a very good guitar player?
A very good guitar player is the one who's got a job, and the good guitar player is the one who has
no job.
Sometimes it's the opposite way around. Actually, the good guitar player's got the gig. The very good.
Subway.
That's right. The very good guitar player's looking for work in the subway if they can. Gee, I don't know. That's really hard. You know what? Sometimes what transcends the guitar playing ability is just the musicianship. Yeah. And you can have a great guitar player like Pete Townsend, who is not known for, let's say, 8-minute guitar solos, but his talent is incredible. His sense of rhythm, his sense of harmony, his originality, his presence on the instrument. And then you can take another a virtuoso like Alan Holdsworth, whose technique is unparalleled. But he and Townsend are completely different.
For you, there's 2 examples of very good guitar.
They're very good examples for a type of musician to aspire to be like, you know, because they both are original, they follow their dream, and they put all their energy into playing great music.
Hope you're gonna be marry one day, Joe Satriani too. Are you still, Joe, learning something about the guitar?
You know, every day I play guitar, I learn something new about. I hear somebody play great stuff, and I may pick it up, store it in my brain, and then when I get to a guitar, check it out, see how I feel about it. But most of the time, I'm learning more about my limits and the kinds of things where it feels like I've got sort of like an open door to be even more creative. I mean, that's what I hope for, you know, that each time I pick up the guitar that it feels like I've got so many ideas and not enough time to do them. And sometimes you do come up against some physical barriers, you know, and you have to circumvent your own anatomy.
Do you have this kind of barrier now?
Oh yes, I think everybody does, yeah. Because, you know, your creativity can imagine the greatest, you know, feat on guitar possible, but eventually it's got to come down to your fingers. And, you know, I'm only human, you know.
A young guitar player who want to be one day Joe Satriani.
Well, the best advice for any aspiring musician, especially a guitar player, I would say is to try to be as original as possible, which really means to be true to yourself. To be interested in expressing your true feelings about music. And I wouldn't try to copy anybody else. And you also have to kind of
listen.
You have to listen to yourself, you have to believe in yourself, you've got to, all those things that you would normally do in your everyday life really do eventually come back to how you view your music and your musicianship. I accept tapes and CDs and anything from people when they try to give me their music, because I figure, yeah, maybe someone does need a little chance, and maybe they are brilliant and they just need a little break here and there. We communicate quite a bit, you know. These days, with the birth of the internet, it's tremendous. I've got my own website, and we've got several sections of the site where people can communicate with me, and when I'm home every day, I'm on there and I'm responding to people's questions and comments. And they can reach me at www.satriani.com. It's that simple.
You've got to do that now. Maybe, is there such exercise before you start playing?
Yes, I have 3 or 4 that I always do.
You can see that.
They sound terrible, and they're very boring. This one. Yeah, it's horrible to listen to, but this is really good, because you notice for young students, keep my thumb behind the neck. That's the important thing.
Oh, right.
And that when I switch, I don't move my thumb, I just move my fingers. And this saves energy, reduces the stress, and you get your fingertips to have like brains. That's the idea. You don't want to be moving your hand like this. You waste energy. There's another one. It's also horrible to listen to, but it's a really great way to warm up, because you can think about other things. You can talk to people while you play it. Watch television, you know, whatever.
Watch
you want to do.
MCM maybe.
That's right, good idea. I always do that when I'm home in San Francisco. I dial in MCM. And you work your way all the way up to the top, and then you go backwards. It's really boring, you know. Then there are scales.
It's the normal exercise.
Yes, but then after your major and minor scales, I like to practice all the different modes, some exotic scales, and then there you've got arpeggios. Very familiar.
That's great. That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
horn players, piano players, singers, everyone does those. And I think after about that, I give up. Generally, my patience runs out, and I'll start just working on a song. Yeah.
Les meilleures choses dont une fight. It's now time. Goodbye, Joe. It was a
Goodbye.
real pleasure.
Thanks for having me on
I've
the
learned a
show.
lot of things. It's very great. See you soon. I
All
hope.
right, I'll play a little goodbye music. You have to sing now.
That's right.